And today I'm going to be showing you hello everyone, welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to be showing you how to use remote events in Roblox Studio. I also created the Discord server, link will be in the description below. And remote events basically let you communicate from the client to the server or from the server to the client. So for example, if we insert a part into the workspace, right? And then we also insert a screen GUI like this, and then insert a text button. We'll have this little button right here, right? We can click the button. And if we insert a local script into this button, local scripts obviously run on the client. And we do script.parent.mouse button one click connect function. Mouse button one click basically runs a function when the mouse button is clicked, or when the text button is clicked. So after that, we want to do game.workspace.part destroy. Now, once we click the button, this part should be destroyed. So let's go ahead and run a playtest right here. So as you can see, we click the button, the part goes away. But the part only goes away for the person who clicked the button. As you can see, if we go over here and select server, we're at the view of the server right now. So the part is still here for everybody else except you, right? So this is where remote events come into play. And remote events are usually stored in replicated storage. So just insert a remote event into replicated storage by right-clicking, click insert object, and then find remote event right there. Let's name this remote event to delete part, just like that. And instead of doing part colon destroy, we can fire the remote event. So we can do game.replicatedStorage.delete part colon with fire server. Fire server basically, communicates with the server, sends information to the server. And then we can leave that blank. Like, since we don't really have to run any parameters, but if we want to run a parameter, we can define this part right here. We can do local part equals game.workspace.part, just like that. And then in here we can type part. Now it'll be like, okay, we have to tell the server. We're basically sending the part to the server. And then in server script service, you want to insert another local script, or another script, server script. And this script will basically pick up the remote event firing. So we can simply pick it up by doing game.replicatedStorage.delete part.onServerEvent. And basically, once it's fired, it'll check once it's fired and do the function. So let's wrap that in a function like that. Now, remote events always, if you're firing the server, it always has a first parameter as player, or whatever. You can name this like whatever you want, but this first parameter will always be the player, no matter what you send first here. As you can see in this script, we sent part first, but in this script, it's always going to be player first, because the player who sent it. So let's just type player here for player, and then the next parameter will be the part. So just like part like that. And then again, this can still be named whatever you want, but we're just gonna name it part to make it simpler. And then we can do part colon destroy. And actually, we should check before. We should do if part, then part destroy. So basically, when they fire it, it'll destroy the part. It'll check if the part's still there before. So when we click this button, the part gets destroyed, right? And now if we go ahead and switch to the server, the part is also gone, because we basically we used this local script to fire the server, sending the part parameter, and then this script picked up, okay, the remote event was fired from this player, and they want us, and the second parameter is this part, and then we deleted the part. Now, this player parameter can be used. This player parameter is very useful. We can do after we destroy the part, we can print part destroyed by, and let's concatenate this string. Let's add a space right here. Concatenate this string. Basically lets you add other stuff onto the string. We do player.name. So this, when it prints out, it's basically gonna look like part destroyed by escape. That's basically what it's gonna look like right there. So let's go ahead and open the output and run the server, or run the game. And after we click this button right here, it should say part destroyed by escape, just like that. And it runs multiple times. But obviously it's erroring now because the part's no longer there. But that's basically the simple thing you can use with remote events. You can use remote events for basically anything that you want to communicate with, but remote events can also be used from communicating to the server to client. So for example, let's insert another remote event, and then let's basically name this tell or whatever. And then after the part's destroyed, we can do game.replicatedStorage.tell fire client. Now fire client will basically tell a specific client what to do. So what I want to do is, after the part's destroyed, I want to change the text of this button to destroyed, like destroyed the part. So let's, in this first parameter, let's always put the player you want to send it to. So let's just do player right here, because we obviously have the player defined right here, so it knows the player. So when you fire client, you always have to put the player first. And now the second parameter, let's put a string, and let's just name this string destroyed, or let's just name it remove the part. Now this string is basically what we're going to change the text to. Now in this script, we can pick that up by doing game.replicatedStorage.tell the onClient event connect function, and then we don't have to put the first parameter as player because it obviously knows it's us because we already did it in this script. So we just have to basically do text. The text would basically be this string right here. You can obviously name this whatever you want. And then we can do script.parent.text equals text. And it'll basically set the text of this part to the text we sent to when we fired the client. So we click this button, it'll fire back and it'll say removed the part, just like that. And yeah. And now I can show you basically fire all clients. So fire all clients is similar to fire client, but it does it for everybody in the game. So if we do fire all clients just like that, we won't need to define a player right here. This player variable function, or this player parameter, will not need to be right there. We can just put the text. So let's put removed the part, just like that. And then we can keep this the exact same, just how it is right here. But the only difference is, if we run a server with 2 players like this, and we click on the part, the button will change for every single client in the server. So let me go ahead and just run this real quick. Alright, so I have 2 windows right here. Basically, these are 2 players. This is obviously one I'm controlling right now. And then we got this one right here. So since we use fire all clients, when we click this button, it will say removed the part for both players. It would say it for both players because we fired every single client in the game. But again, if we just use fire client and then send a specific player, it'll only change it for that player. So that's basically the basics for remote events in Roblox Studio. If you have any suggestions on what videos I should do next, leave in the comments below, or just join the Discord server and tell me there.